Hey YouTube, welcome back to Happy Howlett Homestead. I'm up in my garage to film this just because there's too many people talking in my house. But yeah, so it's kind of chilly if you see my breath. I'm in my garage up in like the attic. But today I'm going to be talking about our Colorado land. I briefly mentioned it in like the We're Back video. So I'm going to talk to you about like how we found it, how we bought it, everything like about it, everything about like the journey. It's been crazy. So we'll start out, and where we left off, like, 4 something years ago, on when our last videos on YouTube, we've probably let you know that we were planning on buying land. It was our goal to get land, to live off grid, all this stuff. But it's just happened a little different than, what we expected, just like probably how all of your lives go. It never goes exactly how you envision it or how you plan it. But yeah, so we wanted to buy land. We wanted like 20 to 40 acres, just, a big chunk. So if Alma one day wants to have like her own little area of it to build a house, whatever she wants, or family, if any family, wants to build a house on it, that'd be cool. So we wanted kind of a bigger chunk of land. We wanted 20 to 40 was what we were thinking, or what we could afford. And we were originally thinking, somewhere in Tennessee, in the middle of nowhere, in the mountains. Or we were even thinking of Florida, just because the weather's always so nice. But somewhere, like, kind of out in the middle of nowhere of Florida. I don't know. We were looking. And, nothing ever came out right. Everything was so expensive. And then in July of 2017, my husband was looking online, and he found 40 acres of land in Colorado, and it was, I thought we paid 12 grand, but in the video I'll show you here, he says 14, so either way, it's still super cheap. But so, we'll just say 14 grand. We paid $14,000 for 40 acres in Colorado, and it's probably an undesirable place. There's no trees, it's high desert, it's in the middle of nowhere. The nearest town is like a 20-minute drive, like the nearest town with like a store, like a small grocery store, a gas station. And then like the nearest bigger city is like 45 minutes away. So it's really cool. I like how it's kind of off the beaten path, and it's off these dirt roads that are like not maintained very well. So there's like ruts in them from people probably going back there to four-wheel or whatever. But yeah, so he found this land online, and we bought it online, or we transferred the money without even seeing it in person. We only saw whatever pictures were online through this land website. And so there were tons of good pictures, tons of drone shots. And yeah, we bought it. We transferred the 14 grand without even seeing it. And then somewhere in the contract, we had 30 days to go see it in person, like if we were able to. And you have 30 days if you want to like cancel it, or it's not what you expected, like you don't want it anymore. So within a couple of weeks after we bought it, he ended up getting 3 days off, and we went from Iowa to our land in Colorado, which was probably around 15 hours, a 15-hour drive. And then we had 3 days. So we went to Iowa to Colorado and then back to Iowa so we could get like back to work. It was like his kind of extended weekend there. And we got there, we looked at the land, we took a nap, and I remember we drove right back. Yeah, but it was crazy. So I got some video of us, like, the very first, like, time we're driving down this, like, secluded road to go see our land. I got a video of that. And then John took a video kind of walking around it and explaining stuff. And technically, I don't think we were on our 40-acre plot when we took that video, because there was just no driveway or any way to really get into it unless we parked and walked in. So we were on probably like some land south of us or something. And it butts up to some BLM land too up the hill, Bureau of Land Management.
There it is, guys. 40 acres, 14 grand. It's already got some tires here for our Earthship. This foothill is more of a mini mountain. That thing's pretty big. Normal truck ain't gonna drive up that. You mean, that's a hike. And it's surrounded right there. That all comes in. Not sure if we own that beyond that fence inside of there or not. If you can tell, the fence goes up the side of that hill. So I think we got part of that hill. Sweet view anyhow. But it's like a big,
Live or just video?
just a video.
Okay.
But it's like a big huge sea surrounding us on this side here. So I'm hoping we own part of this, because I'd love to shoot at this, build into it too. So that's really awesome. Brutus loves it. Little curly girl loves it. There's Jade. Yeah, look at this view. We got that big sea wrapped around us. Of a big little like a mountain. So that wraps around us all like that. Then you can see out. We came in on that road and it hooks to the right, and then goes all the way back there, all the way out. It's really cool. Feels like we're in Mexico. I mean, I've never been to Mexico, but just for some reason,
Imagine what it'd be like.
yeah, you can imagine what it'd be like. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm not sure where the actual property lines are, but I know it's somewhere over here. As we saw our neighbor coming in, he's got a bunch of stuff out there. I don't know if he's in the middle of building something or just or what, but all right. Yeah, we'll do a video, and then I'll upload this later. Peace.
So yeah, so that was it. The 3 days we went and looked at it. We were only there like 8 hours. Like, we got there, looked at the land, took a nap, and then had to head right back and try to, get back to Iowa for work. But then, so that was July of 2017. Then a couple months later, he got a little bit more time off. He got 5 days off, and we went back to Colorado. We were in kind of like the Denver area, and we hiked Horsetooth Mountain, and then we headed to our land, which is nowhere near Denver. I'm not going to say exactly where it is, but I don't know, some of y'all who are good at maps or like know the area might end up finding it. Whatever, I don't care. But so yeah, it's nowhere near Denver. Luckily, I'm not a fan of Denver. No offense, sorry. So in 2017, when we visited our land again, we just kind of hiked around again, took it all in. It's just amazing to know that like this 40 acres in the middle of nowhere is ours. And we even had plans one day to build an Earthship, and we still kind of want to, but we feel like they're so expensive. We might just go with like some sort of a small adobe house, adobe hut or something. Then we want to like build it ourselves. But then in 2019, so 2 years later, we visited our land again, and that time we actually cut a road in. So we found like this kind of like the center of our property, and we wanted to have that, and it was like a nice high spot with like not a lot of brush on it. So we were like, maybe we'll build something here, and then we'll have the road kind of go out to the main dirt road. So we cut a driveway by hand with like bow saws, machetes, and clippers. And then we cut up a bunch of brush, and it took like 4 days of working all day. And we started at the middle of our property, and every day, you keep going like, you know, more and more feet. I don't know how many feet we did a day, but it was like, we tried to make it like 10 feet wide and then just straight to where we could, you know, run into the road. And we did it. It was so cool. But it was so much work, and it's so dry and hot and dusty out there. But it's good to know that like you did it yourself and you did the work and you didn't have to pay anybody and it's yours. It's fun. And it's still a rough drive to get up and down the driveway, but I mean, at least we can get into our land now. And so fast forward ahead, I'm going to do some more videos, but we ended up building a little shanty on it. It's like a 12 by 16 little shack. We call it a cabin, but I mean, obviously to people who actually have like fancy like log cabins, it's like nothing like that. But we call it a cabin. It's our cabin, but it's like a little shanty out there. I'm going to do a whole video on that because when we were out there, I took like daily videos of kind of like what we got done in the process that throughout the day. And we were there like 3 weeks, I think, in 2020, and we built that. And then we went back again the year later and put a wood stove in and kind of like a kitchen counter, like sink, off-grid sink combo. So yeah, I'll do another video on that whole thing because that's a whole video in itself. Like that was a lot of work. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll leave you with some pictures that we've taken out in Colorado on our land. Thanks. Bye.